Were you finding yourself, looking for quicker solutions, or did you like go to sleeping pills or anti-anxiety or anything like that during that process, or was that intuitively not right for you?
No, and it was not right because I really wanted to heal
Mm.
it naturally. And part
Okay.
of it, when I was younger, so again, there was some childhood stuff, which I'm open about, but when I was in high school, I was on antidepressants and then on and off through college because they thought, I had some sort of imbalance, but what it really was unprocessed trauma, I believe now. So,
Okay.
and I wasn't really allowed to process it. And so I was just medicated. So I had done that route, got off that. No, I was really more gravitating to like, let's find that one root cause. I was
Mm.
just so certain there was one thing. I removed a root canal, I removed other things. Like I tackled everything. You name it. I did PRP, stem cells. Like I threw the kitchen sink at this without addressing the mind-body connection. And yeah, so I really thought it was one root thing. I'd get so close. I'm like, it was this food. Nope, it would come back. So no, I never needed to do that later in life. Yeah.
It's got to be a little bit dejected because I know people that always look for that one thing, right? And then they think they hear something that suddenly sparked their interest. Someone talked about, oh, it's this, it's
Right.
mast cell activation, or it's this thing. You have this genetic mutation, you need to do this, or it's this food that you need to eat. And they get really excited because they go, oh, I found the cause, like I found my solution to what's going on. And they may even get like some response that may be a placebo or maybe truthfully that it's helping. But then
Mhm.
I learned like a month or two later, something came back. So it's like they had a little bit, but it wasn't that. Did you ever come to a point where, and I don't know, like your resolution and your journey, did you ever find that it is some one thing or is it just a bunch of things?
Good question. So I realized, so kind of when I moved to Lake Tahoe, I had just quit my job and it just all coincided beautifully. So I could move to the mountains without stress of work.
Hmm.
I ended up sleeping for 12 to 15 hours a day, kind of coming out of fight or flight. I learned to start meditating, going within, sending love to my body. I was with the pine trees, learning that they were naturally emitting DHEA, which was one of the things the
Hmm.
naturopath had recommended. So I was learning I could heal with nature. I started to write a book about my journey because I realized I had some interesting, my life was interesting. So I was kind of stepping into my purpose. So what I came to realize is when I was kind of towards the end of my book, like, okay, so what healed me? I did all these things at once. So how do I tell people what it was? I mean, it was truly like, oh no. And that's when I got the realization that like it was all these things that I did. It was, you know, better aligning with my purpose, reducing stress, creating safety, building trust, changing my routines, my environment, my lifestyle, self-love, nature. It was all those things. So that's kind of how this elements of healing, these 12 layers were born, were truly my blueprint. And I do believe, like you said earlier, everyone's journey is unique, and I believe everyone's healing path is unique completely. So, but I just want to help people address important layers. And then within those layers, they can determine what their inner guidance is telling them within them. But, make sure you address all these layers like cleaning your house or your words and
Hmm.
thoughts matter, getting organized. All of them I think are really important and help with overall wellness.
Yeah, I all say this because I truly believe and we embody this at our center and as a philosophy is that everyone's treatment and way of healing is very personalized. It's tailored, it's your own. You're an individual, you do that. But there are patterns, right? And that's what we're kind of looking at in your how you put it in these 12 steps is there are patterns through it. Now, the particles within that will be independent on you, and
Yeah.
hopefully you have intuition to shift in certain things of that, And that's the beauty of it. It is in like an art form, but the patterns to it, I think, are always there. You know, the patterns in nature, let's say, the Fibonacci codes of nature.
Mhm.
And that's where I see that, you know, what you've placed in these, you know, steps and the 12 rules are very similar to others, but you made them your own, and they give you the patterns you should be looking at. And one of those I find over and over, especially for people that are chronically ill, is that you do need purpose and you need passion in your life, right? And it's very difficult if you're in a bed and you're very down and you could barely get out of bed, you know, and you have fatigue and everything seems so bleak. It's, you know, what's the purpose then? You start to be very jaded at the world.